The lyrics are pretty poignant. And again, I'm just picking some lyrics out as I look at them. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Uh,
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has. I'm hoarse this morning. Can't sing. Sorry.
well, and then we've come over a way that with tears has been watered. We've come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. I mean, there is messaging in the same way that the Star Spangled Banner talks about the flag.
Welcome to Peter and Phil's Courageous Conversations, a podcast addressing race relations and social issues in hopes that you'll be inspired to do the same. Now, let's begin our conversation with your hosts, Dr. Peter Weinstein and Dr. Philip Nelson.
Good day, Dr. Nelson. Good to see you again, hear you again. It's been too long. Actually,
How
it's
are
been
you,
too.
Dr. Weinstein?
I'm busy being busy, as I'm sure you are as well. Been too busy to watch too much news, but I didn't know we had two national anthems.
What?
Did you not hear that the NFL will be playing two national anthems?
No. Which ones are they paying?
Oh, say can you see?
And
The Black national anthem, which
oh
I
my
can't think.
God,
I
there's a
can't think of
Black
the name of.
national anthem. Oh, We Shall Overcome.
No. Oh, Dr. Nelson. I wish I could tell you what it was. Bear with me just a second, but yeah, it was a discussion last night, but I did not know that there were two national anthems.
There are not two national anthems, but there is a
Lift every
cultural.
voice and sing.
There's a cultural anthem, but
Well,
it has not been adopted as a national anthem.
from what I heard, the NFL will be singing both at the start of football games.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
So it's not taking
I,
away, you don't perceive it as taking away from the Star Spangled Banner?
no. See, I think the introduction of it as two national anthems creates the debate.
Yes. Well, that's
Right.
why I brought it up.
And 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 it's not a national anthem. It was not, in order for it to be the national anthem, it has to be adopted as the national anthem. And I don't remember Congress uh, uh, voting on that. I don't remember the nation uh, 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 voting on that. And I don't have a problem that it's not a national anthem. Neither is what's going on
Right.
a national anthem. And I also don't have a problem with acknowledging that Lift Every Voice and Sing has national import. So I don't have to call it the national anthem. And I think the NFL has every right to determine to choose that song as as its song, as one of its songs. It's still being patriotic to the nation by playing the national anthem. And is recognizing that the majority of its employees are African American. Or is recognizing that the song is promoting a tenor that they want to promote. But I guarantee you that your provocative way of presenting it will be preferred by anybody who doesn't want to hear Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Well, it wasn't meant to be provocative as much to be stimulating a conversation.
That was being provocative. I wasn't making the presentation evil or anything.
Right.
You accomplished your goal, but that same presentation will be used just to make a false equivalency.
Well, that's what's happening.
Right.
And that's what's happening in the press. It's been entitled the Black National Anthem, and I didn't realize that there had been, well, as you said, a choice by Congress or somebody else to denote it from that standpoint. And I mean, to be honest, I hadn't heard the song before, but it has become part of the.
I'm sorry.
I hadn't heard the song. I hadn't heard.
You never heard the song?
I don't believe so. So if you want to sing it for me, the recording is on. I'd love to hear that.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. You never heard that song?
Never heard that song.
You really were not touched by the civil rights movement in the 60s, were you?
I was not directly touched by the civil rights movement in the 60s.
And you were young enough not to be watching the news, to be protected from the news.
I was young enough to be protected from the news. That is correct. I was probably 5 to 7 years too young to appreciate it. In 1965, I was 7 years old. So
yeah. It's not as startling. Again, this is about perspective now.
Right.
Because in 65, I was 11.
Right.
And but I was immersed in it.
Absolutely.
And every protest, confrontation, every meeting of the NAACP, or every meeting in a church to discuss segregation or the ills of a segregated society, and or whether we should boycott Kroger's or J.C. Penney's, or in order to be treated equally and be allowed in the front door. Every meeting we sang that song.
Interesting.
That song and
We Shall Overcome.
We Shall Overcome. But Lift Every Voice and Sing wasn't necessarily sung as we marched. When we marched, We Shall Overcome was more appropriate. Right. That was the message that we wanted to deliver. But Lift Every Voice and Sing, and I think that was written by James Baldwin.
Actually, just looked it up. It's a hymn with lyrics by James Weldon Johnson.
James Weldon Johnson, that's what it is, yes.
And it was created for the anniversary of President Lincoln's birthday in 1900. So I'm just learning about this while I'm listening to you. This week was the first I heard of it or so, and it's of course being questioned. The necessity is being questioned.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime there is a gesture toward legitimizing the desires of a minority, it's going to be questioned. Just as Black History Month is questioned, the need for Black History Month is questioned, just as the need for Latinx Month is questioned, just as affirmative action is questioned, just as white privilege is questioned. You know, it's amazing to me that a gesture becomes another point of debate. It's similar to opening a door for a woman and then she blasts you for being chauvinistic.
Mm-hmm. There were debates when people started to use God Bless America and other songs instead of what has been called the Star Spangled Banner National Anthem.
Right.
So it doesn't surprise me that it's been questioned. It was just, as I noted, I did not know, quote unquote, that there was a Black or so-called Black National Anthem, or that there was a song that had been labeled as such. So this is continuing my learning curve about the history and challenges that you've dealt with. So,
yeah, but you know, I don't know what the Jewish national anthem is.
Well, there is no real Jewish national anthem. There's an Israeli national anthem.
There's an Israeli national anthem.
Right.
There is no Jewish nation, right? There's an Israeli nation.
Correct. There were talks about the fact that if you're playing a Canadian team, that they played the Canadian national anthem. and that if Mexico was in the United States playing a soccer game, they would play the Mexican.
The Olympics have a national anthem. I don't care if the Olympic team is all Black, they're not going to play Lift Every Voice and Sing.
No.
So
No.
I just think it's important that we don't conflate the issues. But if you look at the lyrics are beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
And so, but nobody's going to get past the title.
No.
Or the characterization of the anthem. And I'm sure that before you know it, everybody's going to want to play the Asian national anthem, if there is one, and the Latinx national anthem, if they can find one, especially since they're coming from so many different countries. You know what the absurdity of this discussion brings up, and that is that the Black national anthem, in this discussion, we've lost the fact that African Americans came from so many different African nations.
Yes.
And that this particular song was made as an ode to a president that ended slavery, period. That's all. And now it has become the Black national anthem. Well, I got news for you. I think people in Nigeria are trying to figure out why they got to sing that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're Black too, aren't they?
Yeah, there are people in Gambia trying to figure out that's not my national anthem.
Well, many of the Black people in the Caribbean were slaves and brought over to the Caribbean too, so they probably can relate to this.
Yeah, the ones that made it, but the Haitians that tried to get across the border just last week, they've never heard this song.
The lyrics are pretty poignant. And again, I'm just picking some lyrics out as I look at them. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has. I'm hoarse this morning. Can't sing. Sorry.
Well, and then we've come over a way that with tears has been watered. We've come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. I mean, there is messaging in the same way that the Star Spangled Banner talks about the flag still waving as bombs bursting in air. So the words are very relevant.
Yes.
And I think that we sometimes get lost in the issues and don't listen to the words.
I bet you nobody wants to hear the words. I should say it that way. The people who want to discuss the issues, this issue as an issue, won't bother with the words.
True.
Or more importantly, won't bother with the circumstances that caused those words to be created.
So the Jewish, excuse me, there you got me saying it. The Israeli national anthem is entitled Hatikva, which is translated into the hope.
Again,
and
that is the sentiment of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Yep. Translation: as long as in the heart within, the soul of a Jew still yearns, and onward towards the end of the east, an eye still gazes towards Zion. So it really is about the belief in the promised land, to be a free nation in our land, the land of Zion and Jerusalem. And so it has its own messaging that parallels the messaging in Lift Every Voice and Sing.
And compare that to the message, the national anthem. The message of the national anthem is about a battle.
Yes.
It is about strength. It is about survival. It is about tenacity and resilience.
There has been a discussion that the Star Spangled Banner in many ways is more of a fight song than a national anthem.
Well, it's the national anthem because we chose it to be so. But my point is, it's a fight song. It is not a song of aspiration. It is not a song of improvement, a song of journey. It is a song of accomplishment. I find that interesting. And I find that an interesting comparison. It differentiates what America values. And yet, that battle was also a part of a struggle where colonists felt they were being mistreated and not respected. And yet we chose a battle song rather than one of a desire for peace and harmony among the races.
Well, and there have been discussions on all sorts of potential other national anthems. My Country 'Tis of Thee, which probably is more aspirational than Battle Song.
I like America is Beautiful because I can sing it easier.
Growing up in the 60s, I remember elementary school doing I Pledge Allegiance to the Flag of the United States of America and My Country 'Tis of Thee. I don't think I really recognized the national anthem, quote unquote, until going to a sports Yankee Stadium or some other baseball game or something like that, some other sporting event. Your experiences in the South, growing up and going to elementary school, what did you experience? First of all, did you have any? Did you go through the same My Country 'Tis of Thee and I Pledge Allegiance, or was there something else, maybe even from a religious standpoint? I don't know whether you went to a religious school or just a public school.
We did the same ritual. I think the song that we sang, the patriotic song, was interchangeable. And honestly, the reason nobody sings the national anthem is because it's hard to sing. Yes. That's why you get professionals to sing at football games. Because it's so hard to sing. The only people who'll dare to attack it are the people who are trying to prove that they can sing. I will always remember Aretha Franklin trying to sing it and forgetting the words or not knowing the words and just vocalizing the tones at one point. After that, everybody else memorized the words, but fifth graders can't sing the song.
No.
That's why you never sung the song. That doesn't change the fact that it's a national anthem.
Well, I mean, we have God Bless America, we have My Country 'Tis of Thee, we have a plethora of other. Is patriotic the right term? Because I would suggest that the Star Spangled Banner is more of a patriotic song relevant to the era, but is it relevant to the present day?
I don't know. Don't care. To be honest with you. We have a number of patriotic songs that we can sing.
Thank you for joining us for another courageous conversation. Be sure to follow us and check back next week for more.